Oh, just a moment. Let me just see how we're going. Everybody, guess what? We're live. Welcome to Help to Come Out on Top. This is the Salutations season, the show that gently flings festive fun in your face. It's holiday season. How are you? I've missed you. I'm Yana Groves, and I can be whoever you want me to be. Have you ever found yourself wondering what the year to do next and other unanswerable questions? Well, this is where we attempt to tackle the issues. Hard news, hard-hitting news, hard facts. This is where we tackle creative quandaries. What's my next gig, you might be wondering? Where can I find a mentor, you ponder? Why am I so crap on comms? And have you really read the call sheet? Also, should a mini Snickers bar be reclassified as fruit? Well, with that said, we're also here to do what we came here to do, to inspire you to be creative, to keep you strong and pushing through all the lockdowns, lockups, and even lock-ins wherever you are in the world. Coming up, dream makers. They put songs in our hearts and a sprinkle of the theatrical magic that we all know and love by the truckload. So get your programs in the foyer. There will not be an interval. So grab that wine now. Thank you for all your messages. Keep me up to date with what's happening in your world and asking when the next how-to is. It's wonderful to hear from you. Anyway, we're here in full force. You asked for me to be here. I'm here. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to watch over and over and over again, this stuff stays in the machine, so you're all right. So, here at Bloomtime Media, we've been beavering away, getting set for 2021. We've got a slate of shows, a couple of dance shows, a couple of docos, maybe some talk shows. It's quite exciting. And a podcast or two to come. I know I've been saying that all year, but it is coming. Anyway, to the business of show business. Friends, Romans, countrymen, I would like to introduce you to my superstar guests. They're the faces and voices that audience love to see. They've had us on the edge of our seats in awe and wonder, not only with their smash hits, but also they are the original, part of the original cast members of spectacular shows like The Lion King, Evita, Book of Mormon, Aladdin, Prince of Egypt, you name it. From the Sydney Opera House to London's West End, they light up the world stage from Disney to DreamWorks. They perform, create, and look mighty fine in a pair of tights. So are you ready to have your tights blown off? 0 minutes till curtain, Miss Piggy. Please welcome, live from London, the musical force, the creative force that is Kansley and Leadert, Kurt Kansley and Oliver Leadert. One of them, rumor has it, may or may not be my brother. We'll be revealing the DNA results later, so stay tuned. Welcome, Ollie and Kurt. There is Kurt, and there is Ollie.
I feel like I'm coming in like a boxer. Bum, 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 bum.
Hello.
What a talk up. I think, Kurt, we should be billed like that on all of our musicals. Every single musical we write should have an intro like that at the beginning of the show. What do you think?
I agree, especially when you use the word beaver.
You are total divas, guys. Come on.
Live for it. Live
I
for
should have
it.
said that. That's actually one thing. We should probably do the intro again, and I'll just insert the word diva.
No, you said the word beaver.
Oh, beaver.
Yeah. That's
what?
It's not like me to drop a little bit of a naughty cheeky.
We'll have to write a song about that now.
Yeah.
Beaver. No, come on, guys. It's not that kind of show. It's a showbiz show.
Sorry, we're meant to be hard hitting. We're in there. We're in there.
You know, hard hitting news. This is not about beavers.
Yes.
Now, my friends, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you? How's everything in Australia, my beautiful Australia?
your beautiful Australia. We're taking very good care of it while you're away in London town.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 7 in the morning here, and it's still dark outside. You can look out my window.
Yeah.
And so I wish we were there.
It's
And
actually
And it's not hot.
not hot. The opposite of hot. Unhot.
Unhot.
Now, you two, I know, have historically always been the night owls of the world, because you've always been on stage until silly o'clock, till the audiences leave, till you take off the makeup. How does it feel to be up at o'clock?
It feels like a weird reversal. I think that Kurt and I are like getting used to this whole new schedule. But what I will say is Kurt is lucky enough, even in these crazy lockdown times, to currently be performing at this very moment. So
yes, I'm actually performing on the stage of Prince of Egypt, where Ollie is working, or supposed to be working at the moment. I'm doing Bar Humbug Christmas Carol.
Oh, love it!
We started rehearsals last week, and it's with an all-star studded cast. And we open next week, which is fabulous. So I feel very fortunate to be in one of 4 shows that are running in the West End at the moment. And
only 4 are left, which for me, brings me right to the crunch. How has 20 Poopy been for you guys?
Well, do you know, funny enough, actually, for Kansley and Leader, for the two of us, it's actually been a really quite incredible year. Obviously, our hearts go out to everybody, and it's been a really kind of complex time for all of us. But what Kansley and Leader have found, particularly as performers who write musicals, we found a really unique opportunity in this whole lockdown to start creating our own work. We've been writing for the last kind of 7 years, but the lockdown has actually, in a way, kind of supercharged us. And we've been doing loads of readings. We've been writing every day, and it's actually been a really creative time, which is quite special.
Well, that's what I found definitely with How to Come Out on Top, which is why we started this whole thing. And I think it's given us a space to breathe, a space to reflect. God, it sounds so wanky, doesn't it? Yeah. But it's true. It's given us a chance just to consider where we really want to be and how to develop and how to grow within, the skill sets we have. So, I mean, it's amazing. I find it phenomenal, the wonderful content that's coming out. And you guys have been writing.
Yeah, we've had, I mean, what a perfect time to be able to consolidate your work. I mean, both of us have it in us that we're not going to sit back and wait for a phone to ring or for someone to provide us an opportunity. It's like, well, what can we do with all of this time that we've got? Let's write a musical. Let's write a song. Let's finish. Let's rewrite that bit or redraft that show. Or there's been plenty of stuff to keep us out of trouble and busy.
Are you sure out of trouble? I'm not sure about that.
Well, considering that the lockdown here, well, actually, it's not as strict as in Australia. Oh wait, sorry, we're not supposed to use that word. Lockdown. Sorry. No. Wow. Sorry.
Look, these projects and also what I found is I've been very lucky that I've been able to bring together some of the best in the business, like yourselves, because of the situation we're in. The only reason this is possible, really, is because of our current setup. Well,
one of the things of which the lockdown has allowed us to do actually is pivot. So, which also lets us have Zoom readings. So the whole kind of Zoom revolution has been incredible for writers and developers, because we recently had a reading of one of our new musicals where we were able to have cast in the United States, cast in the UK, and producers in Australia, all in the same room at the same time. That never would have happened if it wasn't for the lockdown, because people now have this time to work from their living room. And we were able to develop this piece with all of these great people. So yeah, it was pretty amazing that we had the chance to do that with that incredible talent from this really large international pool. So made the world a little bit smaller, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I agree. And I guess what I really want to do is explain to those who maybe aren't in theatre, because this really started with creatives from the television industry. And so I think what would be really exciting to hear is what the difference is between a producer in theatre, a producer, writer, creator in theatre, and perhaps what we do in telly. So as your roles as not only performers, but as producers and writers, what does that involve? How do you start a creative process?
Ooh, crickets. Who will go first? Do you want to go first, Kurt?
I think they're quite similar, because you plant a seed, you get an idea, and you make it happen. I think there's an element to us as people where we can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, but I think it's the doers that make things that really make things happen. I think it's having the initiative, the drive, and the perseverance to just push through any kind of hardship and make things happen. Do it. But yeah, I mean, there are differences in the technicalities of how they work. I mean, do you want to take it from here, Ollie?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, tell me about the technicalities, Ollie.
So being a producer in theater requires a very different consciousness about outcomes. So producing theater, it kind of, obviously it relies on a dialogue with the audience, which is unique, because as a theatrical producer, you invest, you create your product, and it's not finished by the time that you actually put the thing on. A film or a TV kind of series kind of builds its audience, it's got the product goes on, and then you can move that to different platforms. Theater, once it's on, it's your dialogue with the audience. That audience has to keep coming in, or else it closes. And then your investment basically goes up in smoke, and there's no kind of selling it to another network or moving it somewhere else. And so as a result, I think that the risks in terms of theatrical producing tend to be a little bit higher, which is why we see a lot of revivals and people try to manage risk. So yeah, I think being a theatrical producer really requires, some serious cojones for those people who want to invest in it. But at the same time, when you are someone like a Cameron McIntosh, and have had that success, it can be extraordinarily lucrative. I mean, Sir Cameron has made, I think it was last calculated his value at 1.2 billion in terms of his fortune. So, I mean, he's the same as any media mogul. So those that think you can't make a killing in theater, that's not true either. Theater is incredibly lucrative. And I think people truly love live events. And I think we're going to come back even stronger after all of this. So for those producers out there, find your investors, find a show that you love, and give it a go.
Yeah, there are shows out there the ones that keep coming back, like Ollie said, the revivals. But then there's the long stayers as well. You've got Phantom of the Opera, which has been running on Broadway. Well, not currently, but will open again, and in the West End for almost 30 years. Same as The Lion King, same as Les Miserables. And even Mamma Mia. There are shows out there that just keep going because they have audiences that come back, and they've just become a big marketing machine, like Hamilton has as well now. Hamilton is about to do a production in Australia too. So I think
we are super excited about that.
Yeah,
where everyone's like, have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? I mean, theatre is such a a multi-sensory experience. And after something that the world is going through right now, where we're being devoid of touch, of feel, of smell, of sound, not of sound, but in a space where you can see physical bodies in front of you performing, it's so magical. And you've both performed in the world's biggest shows. Ollie, for you, Lion King, Book of Mormon, beautiful, so many shows, Aladdin. I mean, and you guys met on Lion King, and Kurt, Rent, Evita, Ragtime, hundreds of shows that are fantastic. So how does it feel, or how did it feel? Because I know, Kurt, you're on the big stage again. How does it feel not to be in that home of yours?
What I will say is that I know for my perspective, it's been about the writing. So and making that change for my career. But what I will say is that a lot of our friends are obviously hurting. I think actually one of the most remarkable stories, which kind of has a positive twist, is that I have a friend who is a lead in a West End show who is currently out there working with a gardening and landscaping company to basically make ends meet. And the thing about that is performers are resourceful people by nature. We always kind of have to be ready for that show closing and moving on to that next job. It's just in our nature. But at the same time, here is a talent who has appeared on Netflix series, who's been in Disney primetime movies, and he's out there and he might be trimming your lawn right now. So, it's
wow.
extraordinary times. So I'm sure he's dying to be back on stage.
There are a lot of performers, a lot of like top class West End performers, musical theatre talents who are like, I've seen several of my friends who have jobs or are trying to get jobs at supermarkets here, to kind of get the bills paid.
Yeah.
So it is tricky. I mean, I'm in the very same position as Ollie. We made a pact with each other when we met each other on The Lion King in 2009. That we were the two geeky guys in the corner who were geeking out about musicals, about Sondheim and Andrew Webber and Kander and Ebb, and we were those people. And we started and we made a pact then that we wanted to write musicals, change the narrative a bit, mix it up. So this year has been a bit nuts. I have to say I've been very lucky because I have this job now, and I had a job over the summer when London was open as well. And what has been proof that our industry is something that's completely needed is that both shows are sellouts. A Christmas Carol at the moment, which opens next week, is selling out, and it's in a big space and the social distance audiences and everything. So people, audiences want that, but I know a lot of my performer friends are all suffering, are all struggling.
Yeah, and let's just hope that we get through this and see these huge, beautiful shows and the shows that are smaller and more intimate come back and allow us to be part of that sort of all-round experience.
Well, we've been having these chats a lot about this kind of conversation about what happens to live theater. Is live theater going to recover? And every single time there has been a new live production, people have flocked back because I actually think live theater it's in us. It's a necessary thing that you see someone in front of you, and that will never be lost because that special magic of seeing someone live singing in front of you, it's innate in us as human beings. It's been part of our history for the last 5,000 years. You can see evidence of theater happening all throughout time. So one little pandemic is not going to put a scratch on it. It may just set us back a few months, but it's not going to set us back at all.
It's a beautiful exchange. It's a human exchange that we have. that is different from, you know, watching a TV show or going to a cinema, is that you do having that live experience and that exchange from audience, it's feeling from the actor, from the performer, from the music, from the story that they're hearing, is a very beautiful and very specific thing. And I think it's going to come back with fervor. We're going to come back with fervor, because also the other thing that happens as well is when humanity goes to a crisis, like we have on several different planes, really worldwide, the world creates beautiful art in response to that.
It certainly does. I've seen it, like, even in my industry. So, you know, for those that don't know, I'm a TV executive producer. We create formats. I've worked on some of the biggest shows in the world too. And I have seen, it's like pouring water through a plastic bag with holes in it. You cannot stop creativity. And the most phenomenal shows here in Australia and all over the world are being made and pushed out for our entertainment. And I'm really excited to see that. And by the way, they know it has to be better than best. Everything that's coming out in unscripted that I've seen has been top notch. People are pushing harder than ever.
Well, that's one really interesting thing. Kurt and I have been developing a lot of work in Australia, and actually, it's really exciting there. So sorry, all of our London viewers today, but particularly in Melbourne, which is Kurt's kind of hometown. You know, we have been getting an amazing amount of help from a company called Homegrown Talent, who develop new musical theater. And we actually have plans to be developing one of our original musicals in Melbourne, because they're starting to catch up with the rest of the world. Obviously, you know, New York and London are known for this stuff, but now Melbourne is starting to kind of appear on the map as a place where you can really develop and create new work. And that's really exciting, you know, for two guys like me and Kurt.
Well, this is what I was about to ask you, is when you're coming. When are you coming? Because, you know, I know that Melbourne has been through hell and back.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think what is very much needed are two faces like that. These two faces, those ones. We need those. We need some uplifting, some heartfelt performances. We want to see beautiful writing. You guys have been doing some, you know, we're talking about writing. I guess we're talking about songwriting here. And you two have often sent me beautiful little links of your ongoing projects and growing projects. And it's really exciting to hear what that process is and how you bring a story to life through song. That's musical theater, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, our first project that we worked on together was about six years ago. We did a show. We wrote a cabaret for, which was for this a big star here in London. Her name's Rachel John, who was the original Angelica. Yeah, Angelica in Hamilton. And prior to that, Rachel had appeared in Memphis and We Will Rock You and a few other musicals, but we met her on The Lion King. So we wrote the show, a cabaret for a one-woman show called The Songs I'll Never Sing, and it was about her life growing up as a Trinidadian West Indian, you know, in the UK, and her career as in musical theatre. And we wanted to twist the cabaret a bit and about her experiences as an ethnic woman as well. But most of the music in the show was from the musical theatre canon. But we twisted the songs a bit, made them a bit more specific to her story. But in that show, we had two original songs, and I think it was from the back of that we thought, wow, we just made something, we just created something. We sold out 3 performances. And
this was in Melbourne? Was this in Melbourne?
No, this is in London.
In London.
Yeah, this is 2014, I think, in London, and we put it on at a theatre here called the Other Palace, which is one of Lloyd Webber's theatres, which he houses. He opened this theatre about a decade ago, and it was the purpose of the theatre was to house new work, was to promote new works in Australia. I mean, in the UK. Which I think needs to happen more in Australia. We need to see more of that. So that's kind of what that's the plan for Kanzi and Lead It. We hope to be out there in the next maybe 2 years to start getting our work out there, to start promoting not just our work, but also help foster other Australian writers, other Australian creatives to get their work going.
Well, you know, there are lots and lots of performers who watch this, How to Come Out on Top. Millions of them, billions of them watch.
Wow.
Billions. And in fact, we have a few comments, a few little messages.
Sure.
Tony Harvey adores Kanzi and says it was a joy to share a stage with him.
Tony Harvey was what was my original Scar in The Lion King.
I remember meeting Tony.
Tony is a legend.
Can I just say something about what it's like, just to bring it back before we get into a showbiz loving, because we always do on this show. But what I will say is when you meet someone who, as a punter, who is that very formidable character, and you know, with the costume and the makeup and the lighting and the song and the voice and the you know, the whole stage experience, and then you meet them afterwards for a bite to eat. It's a very, very strange thing. And I remember meeting Scar, Tony, and almost like going to touch his face. Tony, do you remember like that? Because oh, you're actually a really nice guy. You're not the evil character. And you know, that must be strange for you guys too, when you do your signings and you know the kids and the families are lining up backstage. It must be strange when they see you as your real person. Does it feel weird the way they're interacting with you?
I remember coming to meet, because when Ollie was doing Aladdin, I was the special guest there at least twice a week. We'd pop in there to work on Kanzi and Lead It material. We used his dressing room as a rehearsal space even. But what was so lovely, I remember this one time. I came to meet Ollie after the show, and he'd just been on for the Genie, and there was a group of kids who were just jumping out of their pants, so excited. Yeah, that is a really lovely. That is really such a. It sounds strange to say this, but such a humbling thing as well. You kind of made someone's day.
And I think the thing is, you know, you fans are crucial. They're important. They're the people who come and they're willing to spend the time to watch the show, and it, you know, touches them. And at the same time, when you come out of stage door, you can't disappoint. I mean, there's nothing worse than kind of being walking away. So, you know, you've got, and there are those kind of awkward instances. I did have one woman literally like accost me and like come and give me a massive hug, and she screamed "Genie," and I'm like, "My name's Oliver."
Oh no, you smashed her dreams, Ollie.
Well, because I think that's the interesting thing, is that she called me Genie. Everyone, when you come out of stage door, calls you Genie. But at that point, I'm Oliver. I'm not Genie. And so it's kind of a really interesting moment, you know. So I think that you just have to kind of wear that costume until you're out of the building. And then when you're in the pub, it's over. For me, I just,
it's done.
You just hide. You're like, no, I'm not Genie. I'm not Genie. I'm Oliver.
I think it's fantastic. And actually, Kurt, I saw you in Evita here at the Sydney Opera House.
Yes, you were my very special guests. I got the Opera Australia were very generous, and they gave us They gave us a couple of free tickets for the run, and you were my very special guest who I was honored to share those tickets with.
I'm a bit emotional about it because it was a huge success, and what an honor to be there and see you in your full power as Shay opposite Tina Arena. And I don't like using the word opposite because you and Tina had that wonderful, I don't know.
Opposites attract. Opposite.
Yes, they do. Well said, Ali. Well said.
Because I think, well, Kurt and Tina and Kansley and Liedert have all built a really lovely relationship. So
That's
yeah,
really
I mean,
great. And for those of you who don't know, I mean, if you don't know who Tina Arena is, I mean, come on, guys. Superstar, Aussie superstar, known for fantastic 80s, 90s hits. Am I right?
Yeah, she's got some really exciting concerts and a little tour of Australia coming up in mid-2021 as well. And she is such a legend, like one of my favorite people that I've got to work with. Like, beautiful.
She's got a voice, like.
And also, she's an incredible advocate for the Australian arts, and particularly she's an incredible advocate for diversity as well in the arts in Australia. Because I think that all around the world, we're kind of having this moment where we're looking at ourselves and going, how can we tell new, better, and more inclusive stories? And that's really as well what Kansley and Liedert was kind of formed to do, was to create new dialogues, create new stories, and really highlight a more global experience, because we're all different shades, we're all different colors, we all come from different backgrounds, and Kansley and Liedert really want to start telling that story. I mean, Kurt himself is from originally born in South Africa, so and I myself
grew up in Melbourne.
Yeah,
grew up and is now and is between Melbourne and London, correct?
Yeah.
And Ollie, you're quite multicultural yourself, aren't you?
Yeah. I won't tell you where some of my family is from, but what I will say is that I was born in Philadelphia, and now I've moved.
Born and raised?
To Philadelphia, born and raised. On the playground, funny enough, is where I spent most of my days.
Most of your days.
And mic drop. And and I moved to London to study and to spend time with some family members, and kind of never looked back. But I come from a mixed race background. My mother was Jamaican and my father was Polish, so we're about that global life.
So you're Jamolish.
Yeah, that Jamolish life. You know how it goes.
Jamolish. Oy vey.
Yeah, oy vey indeed. I always think that musical theater was my destiny because, Black and Jewish is like, what the heck else are you going to do? That's that's musical theater, huh? That's musical theater.
The best. Look, I grew up in musicals, and look, going back to diversity, I completely agree with you. People are thinking differently. I see it. I see the change. And it's the same with me at Bloomtime Media. When you are a culturally diverse person, you can't not create culturally diverse content. You've got to. It's always in your mind. You're always seeing things through that lens. And I'm really excited about where we all are at this stage, creating new stuff. Breaking boundaries. And not being fearful.
Yeah.
To stand out and be outstanding.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think we have to pioneer and, as I said before, create new stories, because if there's one thing that the world needs, it's new stories, new teaching tools. And that's really what theater at its core is. It's a teaching tool. It's about us learning about ourselves by watching others on stage. And so if you see yourself reflected, for all those little boys and little girls out there that come from different backgrounds, it teaches you that this is something you could do. This is something you could be involved with. You could write a show. You could perform in a show. You can produce a show. You could produce TV. I mean, you're the perfect example of that.
I don't know.
So yeah, the more they see it, then the more kind of interesting and wonderful the world gets.
I'm sorry, that was beautifully said. Beautifully said.
It's like I'm a writer. It's
almost like you're a writer, performer, You know, I want to say that, of course, we are over time, as we always are, on how to come out on top, especially with super, super fabulous guests like yourselves who have risen before the sun.
It's coming up now.
Yeah, you can see it out the window. We're
Oh,
getting
is
there.
it?
Yeah.
The birds are tweeting.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh my God, I'm so excited that we've spoken. I just want to say a few more messages, beautiful messages from people. Hi, Jessica. Thank you for being here watching. Wales is in the house, people. Wales is in the house. Whoop! Go Wales.
The valleys.
May or may not be related. Also, Dee, hi Dee, you're right. No pandemic will change our love for theatre and performances. And also, guess what? The Viking says hi.
Hey!
Hey!
Give him the chop.
Give him the job. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not sure I will. But anyway, I'll pass on the message. Guys, listen. Tell me quickly, what is coming up for you guys? Where can we see your work? What's next? Tell me everything. Let's plug it.
Well, we've got two shows that are currently there's one for I'll talk about the one in the UK. We've got a very exciting show that we've been working on for a few years now. We put a workshop on it last year. And we've picked up a pretty incredible director now. It's one of the shows we've been working on during this year, and it's ready to go. So we're ready to go into workshop. We're just waiting for the new year to start. So yeah, it's all very exciting. It's a show about women.
Women.
About
Should
women
we be in the kitchen.
And anybody who loves spy dramas, who loves the James Bond movies, the Mission Impossible films, the Bourne Identity series.
Wow!
Anybody who's into that sort of a world, and loves the music from the opening themes from the James Bond movies, is gonna love this show.
What's it called?
It's called Confessions. Yes, and it's so we're hoping. We're not hoping. It's going to be happening next year. We're going to be doing another workshop of it, and then I think it's going to take the world by storm. It'll be a worldwide success. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
And to give you kind of two other quick things, we've got another musical that's based on the life of Jackson Pollock and explores his whole life through jazz music. With what we're going to have an extraordinary jazz band. We'll have a trailer for it coming out very soon. So stay tuned to our YouTube channel, and also check us out on Instagram and Twitter, because we post tons of amazing content on Instagram. And one other thing, it's Christmas season. And what do you want more than a really great Christmas song? So we've written a Christmas song called Is That Okay? Starring Cedric Neal, who is like the most incredible vocalist you've ever heard in your life. And that is currently on Spotify and iTunes. And every stream that is made on Spotify and iTunes, all of the proceeds that we make go to a charity called Theater Mad, who helped us get our start, as well as helps actors and children across the world, and they are just the most amazing charity. So please download it, play it 100 million times, because it's just going to be awesome. So check out those two things. Keep your eye on Kansley and Liedert, because we're creating new musicals. We have 4 more in the pipeline. So we're just go. And you can stay tuned on all of that, Making It Rain musicals, because that's what Kansley and Liedert do. Making it rain musicals.
I love it. That's what we need. We need some joy in our lives. I'm so excited to have had you on. And we've been talking about this for months, by the way.
Yeah.
And, the fact that you guys were able to join me live, to be here with us, is exceptional. Thank you for getting up so early.
Thank you for having us. And thank you to all of the billions of amazing listeners out there who come and listen to you and see your beautiful face. And thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. And I'm really excited to hear how the upcoming gigs go. Look, as we know, they're going to be smash hits. I just hope I get to see all of them, the ones in the UK and the ones in Australia and globally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Global domination.
If it goes the way we're expecting.
Oh, sorry, Ollie, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying that if it goes the way that we're expecting them to go, then it shouldn't be a problem at all.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'll be on that plane. So now, ladies and gentlemen, the results of the DNA test are in. One of you is my brother. Kurt, you are not the brother.
Oh, I was so hoping. Can I be your surrogate brother though?
You are already, darling.
Oh.
To my brother from another mother and my actual brother. This guy and this guy. It is Kansley and Leadert, Ollie and Kurt. Thank you so much for your joy. And literally, I feel so pumped now. Let's go.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us. And, you know, if you've got a creative idea and you want to do it, because that's what Kurt and I did, and we've never looked back.
That's the way forward. I can't thank you enough. Will you come again?
Yes.
Well, at 7 a.m? Sure, anytime.
Earlier.
Next time I wear my pants.
Actually, are you wearing pants? This is a very important thing.
No,
don't.
I might be.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Next time revealed if Kurt's wearing pants or not.
Kurt Kansley, thank you so much. Oliver Leadert, thank you so much.
Thank you, my sister from another mister.
My brother from another mister. Mwah, mwah. I think we should probably say hi to the fam, the whole
Absolutely.
fam,
Yeah,
all
no.
over the world.
To all family watching, I have to say personally, I am so incredibly proud of my sister and all of her accomplishments. She's done the most amazing things, and this program is just an absolute testament of that. And the fact that, in a way, our two divergent careers have now been able to kind of come together is pure joy. And, you know, our family, Yana, just on behalf of our whole family, all of us are so incredibly proud of everything that you're doing and accomplished. And we love you. And it's just the coolest thing to be able to sit here and do this with you and kind of, yeah, expose a little bit of what our family's humor. It's not just Yana's. Actually,
Oh my God. Ollie, seriously, eyeballs wet. All I can say is right back at you. Keep creating. You are an absolute hero and a superstar. And you are highly talented. You're paving the way for so many great talents and performers and writers. And you and Kurt are going to smash it. You're going to take over the world.
Oh, well, thanks, Yana, honestly. And I miss you, and I can't wait to be in the same room with you. And it's only a 24-hour flight away, so it's not far.
I'll start walking now.
Yeah, we'll meet halfway.
Goodbye, Ole.
Goodbye, sis.
That was the phantasmical, because you can say that, you know, it's a musical theatre thing. Phantasmical. Well, I was going to say orgasmical. We're not allowed to say that. Amazing, fabulous duo, Oliver Leadert and Kurt Kansley of Kansley and Leadert. I don't know why I say it in that way, but anyway, Kansley and Leadert. What a guy. What guys. They're amazing. They're highly talented. They're making great musicals. Always have, right? All our favorites. Lion King, Rent, Evita, Aladdin. You name it, it's all happening, and their own productions. So with all of that knowledge combined into two, look out world. Thank you, my friends, for joining. I want to just remind you of a couple of things. It's very important, my friends, to stay positive. Don't forget to upskill. keep yourself in the know, and congratulations to so many of the highly talented people I know who've been on this show and are now so busy with work that there's no complaints here. So now I'm not saying that's for everybody, but there are so many people finding jobs, creating new jobs, employing new people. Keep your eyes peeled, keep your confidence up, because there is hope out there. And for those of you who aren't working in lockdown, we're here for you. I'm going to keep going with season's salutations, just to sprinkle a little bit of festive fun for you. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. Remember, you can go to our website, bloomtimemedia.com. Email info@bloomtimemedia.com. Like, comment, subscribe on our YouTube channel, which again is overrun with subscribers. I think it's full actually, but have a go. I want to also say next week, we have a publicity powerhouse from one of the world's most successful production companies, Megan Stewart. And my God, some of the stories you'll hear from this lady and the way this lady tells a story, she's inspirational. She's a trailblazer. I've told her that once. It's true. So, my friends, a big thank you to you for joining me yet again on how to come out on top, what to do next, and other unanswerable questions. I hope we've answered some of your questions. Thank you to all of you who have messaged, and keep watching. And I'm out. Stand out and be outstanding.